Hey, BassGeek here, and yeah, I am officially over it, but I did get the COVID. Let's talk about that, and let's do some unboxings. Yep, it's true. I do have or had good old COVID-19. I'm going to just share some of my experiences with it because I think there's a lot of information out there, and I've had several people tell me they don't know anybody that's actually had it. So, you know, I want to share that experience with you, and then we're going to do kind of a mail call. I've got a lot of cool products in, and we're going to talk about that. But, you know, I want to tell you kind of my experience. So if any of you guys are having the same sort of symptoms, you know, you might want to go get checked out. But my dad got it. He's asymptomatic. Hasn't shown the first symptom. My wife got it. My mom got it. And she's older. She's a diabetic. She's got some other, you know, medical issues. So she was in you know, the hospital. She ended up having to be hospitalized for about 3 days, and she's still on oxygen outside of the hospital. So, you know, the one thing I'm gonna tell you, and it might piss some of you off, but I see a lot of people out there going, oh, it's no worse than a flu, it's no worse than a cold. And you know what I say to that? If that's what you think and you've not been around anybody that's had it any worse than that, go ahead and buy me a plane ticket and I'll come down and spend the week with you and your family. So put your money where your mouth is. It's worse than a flu, it's worse than a cold. Maybe not for everybody. Like my dad, he's asymptomatic, but those are the people that aren't sick that's really spreading it to the rest of us. You know, so I'm not telling you to go out and get tested, live your life. I'm not telling you to live mask. This ain't even political. I just know what I've gone through, what my wife's gone through, what my mother's gone through, and that's kind of what I want to talk to you about. For me, basically it started on a Wednesday while I was at work. And it started out, you know, flu symptoms. You know, chills, shoulders, back, just achiness, you know. I mean, the difference is like it ached all the way down to my thighs, knees, and calves. Like I'd never had a flu do me like that before. I have bronchial asthma, so I'm a little bit of an elevated risk. And, you know, as you can tell, it's definitely affected my lungs. Now, my wife's in a lot better shape than I am, health-wise. You know, for me, my symptoms were pretty consistent. I never ran a fever, not one time. I think my wife ran a fever maybe a couple of days. And my mom, she kind of ran a fever off and on. You know, so we all kind of had the same symptoms, you know, the flu type symptoms. And what's weird about it for me is that I would have peak days. So I'd have a day or two where I was just great and thought, oh, I'm getting over this. Again, that last video I filmed, I thought, oh man, you know, I'm over this, you know, little, you know, respiratory infection. But then the very next day, so, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all bad days, you know, just like I said, flu-like symptoms, really just barely could stand to even get out of the bed, just run down, energy loss, you know, no fever, again. Saturday, I started feeling good. Sunday, I started feeling great. And, you know, got up Monday morning and it was just bad. So I had my dad drive me to the hospital, or to an urgent care for the company that I work for. And that's when I found out, because I just thought, if you guys have been around the channel for a long time, you guys know that last October I got double pneumonia. Now for me, I'll tell you this, the double pneumonia, but I was a bad boy and didn't take care of myself. I really let it go, but it was way worse than this. But this, I've been very diligent about making sure I'm taking my meds, and I'll tell you basically all that stuff. Like I said, I'm not saying you do this. This is not a how-to. This or about COVID. This is just my experience, my family's experience, and if it helps you guys out, so be it. But as soon as I got there and they tested me, I was like, wow. When it come back positive, I was like, wow, I can't believe it. And, so basically what they told me, they put me on a strong steroid for my lungs. And that made me feel a lot better, of course, for, 2 or 3 days after, or 7 days, however long. Of course, then I had to tell my wife, had to tell my mom, tell my dad, and anybody that I was around. Of course, I told work too, the guys at work. None of them have contracted it so far. So all the guys at work, I'm glad, are, healthy. But like I said, for me, that was really the extent of the symptoms, shortness of breath, the cough, that sort of stuff. Now, for my wife, she was the flu type symptoms. Hers were a little worse than mine, as far as flu type symptoms. Of course, I was on a real strong steroid, and those steroids, they'll make you feel better with about everything. But the wife, she had nausea. She had, maybe a little bit of diarrhea. I'm sure she's going to be happy about me sharing that part with you. And, she had that sort of stuff. So she couldn't eat real good. And then about the second week, she lost her sense of smell and taste, and still hasn't got that back yet. Now, at the very end, literally maybe 4 or 5 days ago, I lost a little bit of a sense of taste. Like I could taste certain things, but everything kind of tasted like it needed seasoned better. But that's gone away now. Seems like everything's kind of come back. And yeah, I'm going to keep the coughing in here because I want you guys to see. I want you to see where I'm at. But mom, on the other hand, she, again, being older, and these are the people you have to really worry about. And if you don't take care of you, worry about the older people that you're around, because, by not doing the things that we need to do, it's like playing Russian roulette, guys. You might as well put 3 bullets in a revolver, hold it to some old person's head and spin. You got a 50-50 shot. So for them, for mom, she just progressively got worse. She got dehydrated. She had some, like I said, a little different symptoms. The nausea was real bad. The diarrhea was real bad. And that kind of flowed into everything. For me, I could eat. And I did. Anytime I'd eat protein, meat, and potatoes, that was the big thing. I felt 100 times better. But like if I ate like greasy fluff food, like pizza, I'd feel awful. But anyway, that's really it. I'm probably working into week 3 at this point. I'm negative now, I'm sure. I'm sure the wife is. Mom, she's, like I said, she just got out of the hospital about 3 days ago. So, she's still on oxygen. They're weaning her off of that. I think everybody, at least in our house, is going to make it through. This is the kitchen of the new house. We're not moved in yet. Still a lot of work to do, but we're getting closer by the minute. We're still living with mom and dad, so that was the part that really scared me the most, was knowing that me and my wife, while we're building this new house, we're going to be with my older mom and dad, and both of them's got they're older, they got some underlying medical issues, so it really did. That's what scared me about it the most. I fought with my lungs enough where I feel like if I did what I was supposed to do, I'd come through it. Now, as far as what the doctor told me, they can't give you antibiotics for this, guys. you literally, they gave me a steroid. The only reason they even gave me a steroid was because of the history of lung ailments that I've had. Other than that, it was multivitamins, vitamin D, zinc, a baby aspirin. They told me to take the Mucinex cold and flu. Once I stopped having the cold and flu symptoms, I just went over to the 12-hour Mucinex. They made me double up on allergy medicine. So I take Singular, and so I doubled up on that. And the biggest reason is the doctor told me they want you to stay dry so that none of the drainage, and that's really how it started for me, just a very light drip, kind of like sinus issues. That's where it actually started for me, in the back of my throat. And they were like, we've got to stop that, because if that runs down when you're sleeping into your lungs, it turns into pneumonia. And that's really what gets people a lot of times. So, you know, I really tried to stay dry. The steroids dried me out. The double dose of the Singular dried me out, and just whatever allergy medicine you're on. And, and that's it. You know, really, I hope you guys don't get this. You know, I prefer not to have it. I hope you pay attention to this. You know, everybody's symptoms tends to be a little bit different. So, you know, the one thing that was weird about mine, and I thought that I really wanted to share with you all, was just no temperature at all. I never ran the slightest temperature one time. So be forewarned, that whole let me check the temperature thing, know what I'm saying? All right, listen, let's get on with the fishing stuff. I've got some really cool stuff, hopefully some cool, which will translate into some cool videos coming up in the future. And I do want to tell you, the videos, I'm going to try and get one out a week every Wednesday right now. But until I get better with the lungs, it's really hard for me to get out in that moist morning air. So please bear with me, guys. BassGeek Nation, you know I love you. You know I appreciate you. And just hang in there with me. Let me get better. Because trust me, I'm dying to go fishing. I'm dying to go fishing. It's killing me. I love the top water right now. But anyway, let's talk about some goodies that a lot of you guys sent me. So what I love about this 6-rod set is you can buy these 6 rods for $500. Now, I know 500 bucks sounds like a lot, but you're basically getting a rod free. And I'm going to tell you, these rods, they have done everything they can to keep the price down. They don't sell them through retail, only through the Sticks website. And what's great about this six-piece set, you can buy these rods and fish anything. Any presentation lure that you can imagine, you can fish on these. And like I said, what I find extremely impressive about them is that if you want to fish tournaments as a co-angler, you want to get out there and learn, buy these rods. They're all you'll need. They're all you'll need as a co. All right, so let's start talking about them. What I like about most of them, number one, they're extremely light. They're well balanced. This is number one. This is your finesse rod. True finesse. This rod is a 7.6 medium light, moderate fast. And what I love about most of these is that they have that moderate fast tip, which allows you to be able to fish single hook baits and fish those treble hook baits and have a nice parabolic bend so that you're not ripping those out. Now this is number 2, also a spinning rod. This rod is 7'2" medium, moderate fast. This rod is going to be the rod that I'm going to fish, you know, some lighter shaky heads, some lighter Texas rigs. That first one's going to be the super light Neds, or, you know, maybe some small finesse worms, small drop shots. the real finesse baits on that first one. Now we move in to our bait casters. This bait caster is the number 3, and it is a 7-foot moderate fast action. This is kind of a do-all. You can fish a lot of things. I think it's up to a ½ ounce on this. So you can fish, you know, some square bills. You can fish even some finesse Texas rigs. This rod is going to do a lot of work for you. Great rod. Again, guys, it's just so impressive what they've done with this set of rods. I mean, you put it in your hand and you can tell the quality of the blank, how light they are. I mean, I can't wait to start coupling these up with some reels and show you some tricks on making these even more versatile. Now this is the number 4, and this is a 7.6 medium heavy moderate. So it's going to have a little softer tip on it. 7.6 medium heavy. So you're going to be able to throw some things, maybe cast some light jigs. So really good for, you know, some of those mid-diving crankbaits, you know, some Texas rigged worms, that sort of stuff. So you're getting up into that little bit heavier cover, a little bit heavier baits. And then we move up into number 5. Number 5, you know, we're starting to get into some heavier baits, some heavier cover. And this rod is still so light. It's incredible. This is a 7.4 medium heavy fast. Now guys, this you can go for a lot of different stuff. You know, things like buzz baits, your heavier jigs, you know, casting around stuff. You know, you know, that 3/4 ounce stuff. Some bigger crankbaits. You know, those 16 foot divers. You know, you're going to be able to do a lot with this stick. Now we get into the heaviest, and let me tell you, I don't mean by weight. This thing is awesome feeling. I cannot wait to put a good reel with this. This is number 6, and this is going to be your flipping stick. You know, you might be able to frog with the other a little bit open water. You could frog with this stick some. This is the power stick, and it is a moderate fast 7.6 heavy. So this is going to be the thing that you're going to flip with. You're going to go into that heaviest of heavy cover. This is the stick you're really going to go with. Guys, I can't wait. And if you don't care, I've got a couple of rods coming in, or reels coming in. That's an unboxing we're going to talk about. Some pretty cool reels that we're going to match up with some of these. So tell me what spinning rod and what spinning reel, or casting reel, what casting reel and spinning reel you think I should match up with some of these. Give me the speeds and the brands. We'll see if we can't do some reviews on them for you. Got a lot of stuff coming in that we're going to do some reviews on. That may be what we do a lot as we get going here. But I am extremely excited to get these out on the water and really put them to use and see what you guys think about them. All right, guys. So the very first thing is from my buddy, Rob Welsh, Cajun Rob. Check him out on Facebook. He's got a Facebook page. I don't remember if it's Cajun Rob Fishing. Anyway, there's always links to all of these products and my buddy Rob down in the description. So make sure you go down in the description. There's always links down there. Some of them will be affiliate links to, you know, to help me out a little bit, help the channel out a little bit. Allows me to buy more gear, do more gear reviews for you guys. Okay. So Rob sent me a note, sent you some goodies. Hope you enjoyed using them. Hope to see you again next year at the East Tennessee Fishing Expo in Knoxville. We'll have to get together and do some dinner one night. The Vector shaky heads with the built-in rattles are the bomb. They call them the shake, rattle, and roll, shaky heads, unique design by one of the co-owners. Also included some Dooms DNA turtles. And let's see here, sorry, I lost my place. Awesome bait during the bedding season, and use a finesse toad. Let's see, use as a finesse toad with a 2/0 or 3/0 hook. Enjoy, miss seeing you in the mountain division. Check out next season. Schedule 2 events at Cumberland and no Barren River. I kind of like the Barren River. Thanks, or regards, Cajun Rob. So make sure you go check him out. I appreciate him sending us this stuff. All right, Cajun Rob, I appreciate you sending me these. These are some Dooms DNA turtles. Here's the shaky heads with the rattles that he was talking about. And he sent me 3 packs of vector hooks, 6 trebles. Appreciate the treble hooks. Can't never have enough of those. These are some offset worm hooks. 4/0, good size. And a 5/0 EWG, looks like a heavy wire, which is also a good thing. Okay, so next, I don't know who sent this to me. The only thing in here was a gift to you. Hope you've dried out by now. Thanks for all the helpful advice from a YouTube subscriber. So thank you very much. This is a Daiwa CT. Now I've got a bunch of the R-types, and they've discontinued those. The R-types were like a 200 version of this, but I've had a lot of issues with those. Now the CTs, I think this is maybe a $100 version. I'll have to double check on that, but it's very much the same. And from what I've heard, a lot of people really like these. They may be a 150 version, but this is an 8-1 Daiwa CT. So this will be great for my buzzbait rod, since either Tackle Warehouse sent me the wrong thing or I ordered the wrong thing. Hopefully, with that Shimano, which is a 6.3, we'll use it on something else, and this we'll put on our buzzbait rod. So whoever sent this to me, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. And if you haven't seen the video why they're saying dry out, I was out there buzzbait fishing on a lake that I grew up fishing, kind of where BassGeek all started, before there was ever a BassGeek. Really my love for bass fishing started, I should say. And had a little mishap. It was scary, I'll be honest. You know, everybody's kind of like, oh, you know, this is gonna be funny, but it was a little more scary than funny, actually. So, but anyway, go check that video out if you haven't seen it already. Pretty good video. You know, we don't catch any giants, but we had a good time. Me and my buddy Jeremy, we was on his boat. All right, so next up is from one of my buds, Mr. North Fork Fishing 12. He's got a YouTube channel. Again, it'll be linked in the description, along with links to all of these products. And he paints custom crankbaits. And so me and him made a swap for some BassGeek apparel. And so he sent me a few crankbaits. This, I don't know what it's called, what style of bait. I like this style of bait, but he's painted it in sort of a Tennessee shad sort of color for me. Guys, he does some really good paint jobs. I seen this color on his website, and I really wanted to send me a sticker. Really wanted a few different things in this color. Like this is a DT10, And I don't remember the color. I'm sorry, North Fork, please comment down there and I'll pin that. I don't remember the color that this was. I really like it. It's a real natural color. Got a good brownish color to it, a little bit of gold flake in there. Love those blue eyes. Good looking color, guys. And so I got me a few different types. You know, here's a wiggle wart style body. That same sort of color. Really natural color, especially when I'm fishing for those smallies. This is kind of a flat side. Not sure what that is. It might be like a fruit side. I'm not sure. It's a coffin bill though. I really like that. So it's a little bit of a square bill. Like that. Again, like that color. Love the eyes that he used on there. And again, here's another. This is a kind of a rock crawler, I believe. Maybe a wiggle wart here. Maybe that was a... Anyway, I always get those backwards. But anyway, again, a little deeper diver. Good looking baits, good looking colors. You guys need to make sure you follow him on Instagram, follow him on YouTube also. Go out there and subscribe to him on YouTube. He's always posting some really cool paint jobs on his crankbaits out on Instagram. Okay, last but not least, is something that my buddy Isaac at Cumberland Pro Lures sent me. He sent me a box of their new redesigned baits. So let's dive in and check out what some of them are. So the very first thing he sent me and what they've redesigned is some of their Procasters. Now guys, I love their Procaster. These are casting jigs. They're awesome to cover water with. Love the head design, love how they stand up. They're a very compact jig and all of them come with Gamakatsu hooks in them. So the very first one is the Procaster. This is the 3/8 ounce and that is Watermelon Candy Haze. Some really good colors, good diversity of colors. This is a 1/4 ounce and this is Bass Backwards. And it's really, man, that's a good looking color. Got a lot of green, got some amber in it. Love it too, their weed guards. They've got the dual kind of wire weed guards. So they're great for those rocky areas, the areas that I like to fish them. This is a 1/4 ounce, this is the Cumberland crawl. Of course, everybody's gotta have the good old black and blue, that's a 1/4 ounce. This is a 3/8 ounce in Missouri crawl. Man, I appreciate you, Cumberland. You guys have sent just an array of awesome jigs. 3/8 ounce, that's a black and blue. There's the 1/4 in Missouri. And here is the Cumberland crawl. One of my favorite colors really right there. And that is in a 3/8 ounce too. 3/8 ounce is one of my favorite jig sizes. I use that a lot where I'm at. Now, he sent me a couple of these jigs. These are kind of the real finesse. These are the Procaster Bitsy finesse jigs. This is a 3/16 in Dirty Sanchez. And this is a 3/16 in Jam Up. Really, really like these jigs when the bite gets tough in the colder water, especially when I'm fishing for smallmouth. He also sent me some of my winter favorites, the football head jig. Football head jig right here. This is the finesse football jig. This is 3/8 ounce magic crawl. This is the standard football jig in a 1/2 ounce PB&J. This is also a standard 3/4 ounce in Shut Up. That is a killer little color right there. And this is their 3/8. This is their finesse, and it is green pumpkin special. You know that's my color right there. All right, so one of the things that I'm really excited about is their SwimJigs. They did a complete redesign, guys. These SwimJigs are bad, if you feel me. And they've sent me a bunch of them in some killer colors. One of my favorite colors right here, especially around those smallies. Limit Out Compact Swim Jig. This is Chartreuse Shiner in a 1/4 ounce. This is the 1/4 ounce Royal Shad, also a killer color. You're around a lake or pond that's got some gill in it. Right here's a color for you, and it is Blue Glitz in a 3/8 ounce. Always got to have that black and blue. Midnight Shad is what they call this one. This is a 3/8 Royal Shad. Love that color, love the blue in it. Love the weed guards on these. We'll talk a lot more about these later on. Here's another Midnight Shad, 3/8 ounce. A 1/4 ounce Blue Glitz. Again, Chartreuse Shiner. Love that around those smallies. All right. Some good looking jigs. Now something else that they completely redesigned was their swim bait heads and their underspins. And one of my favorite things, we'll save that for last, but their underspins are sick, guys. And this is in a gold blade. This is the Apex underspin, 3/8 ounce white chartreuse. That's their 3/8 ounce in pearl. Love this color. That's in Plum Crazy, 3/8 ounce. And this is Blue Glitz. So a killer little bluegill color. Love the paint jobs on these. Love the design aspects of them. Can't wait to get them out there and get them tested. I mean, some really cool looking stuff. Now, their swim bait heads have been totally redesigned. They sent me some heavier ones. This is a 3/8 ounce in smoke. Really unique grooves cut into these. And this is their 1/2 ounce in smoke. So I can't wait to see what these look like when we strap them on. Now, here's one of my favorite things. I've used their version and they just went through a redesign. I love what they've done on the redesign, but I've used their shaky heads and their Magnum shaky heads for years at this point. This is the 1/2 ounce green pumpkin. This is their mag shaky head. It's got a 7/0 hook in it, I believe. But what I love most is that it's got a swing away keeper hook spring on it. It's awesome. It's going to save you some baits. Here is, again, in green pumpkin, a 3/8 ounce. And here's my big boy right here. This is what I go 3/4 ounce, good old black. Guys, if you haven't checked out Cumberland Pro Lures, be sure you go check them out on Tackle Warehouse. Again, I'll put links to all their stuff out there and you'll be able to go check out all their stuff. They're redesigning a lot of stuff, reworking a lot of stuff. So a lot of their new stuff is really impressive and you need to check it out. I can't wait to get these jigs out on the water. I'm telling you, especially those swim jigs out on Top Secret Lake S right now, it is the thing to be doing. All right, that's it, guys. Hope I didn't piss any of you off talking about the whole COVID thing. You know, everybody's experience is different. I'm not trying to get clicks or sympathy. You know, I just wanted to share with you guys my experience. I know a lot of people just don't know anybody that's had it or gone through it. So, you know, that's what I'm here for, to share my experience with you. Guys, this is the kitchen. Hopefully, before too long, we'll be in the new house. Like I said, there's still a lot of work. But overall, I appreciate you guys sticking in there with me through all of this that's going on. The house and the COVID and all that has really been exhausting. So hang in there with me. I went out on the water worse than you could ever know. It's driving me nuts. But all that being said, as always, guys, like it if you like it. Sorry. Questions and comments section. I'm rusty, obviously. Questions and comments in the comments section below. You guys know I love to talk about fishing with you. I will answer every single question. Sometimes it might be a little slow because, again, the house and, you know, the crud. So bear with me. I still answer. I still look. I know some of them's been a little late, but I will get to your questions. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, you guys rock. Appreciate you.